Hello, my name is Rob Cundy, and I'm going to be showing you guys some of the services that Google offers that could be used in education in your classroom. One of the big things I want to show you guys is something called Google Classroom. And it's kind of Google's take on what an online class could look like. It kind of provides a place where you can upload documents and students can work on things and that kind of stuff. But before I get there, I kind of want to go back and show you guys all the tools that Google has to offer because you're going to be integrating all of these tools into your classroom. Okay, so the school that I'm currently teaching at has pretty much completely adopted Google for many of our technology services. Because of that, I'm going to have access to a few tools that not everyone has. So to start this presentation, I'm going to go ahead and log in with my school email and show you guys which tools everyone with a Google account can access, which means if you have Google, email, Gmail, something like that, you can go ahead and use all of these services for free. Then I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what tools educators specifically can access with the focus on Google Classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in here first. As you can see, I have two Google accounts. This is my personal email, and this is going to be my school email that the school provided for me. I'm going to go ahead and log in with this one. So let me sign in here. And as I said, with any normal Google account, you're going to gain access to many of the features that Google offers. So a lot of these tools are going to look familiar. They have a lot of counterparts in Microsoft Office. There's definitely some one-to-one correlations there. There's quite a few similarities between the Office suite and the Google tools. And although the layout and options are very, very similar, they are slightly different. So there's a bit of a learning curve with this stuff. But so far in my experience, I found these tools to be excellent, and my students really enjoy working with them. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is kind of where you launch stuff from your Google Apps section. As you can see, because I use these programs a lot, they pop up right away. If you don't see some of these things right away, you can go ahead and hit the More button, and you'll be able to search for it, or maybe even go down to Even More from Google, and you can find a bit more. So one of the first things I want to show you guys is Google Drive, so I'm going to click on it here. And one of the best features about all these Google tools is the accessibility it offers for everybody. So I can share documents with my students and my coworkers, and they can send things to me, and I can even set various permissions on it. So I can go ahead and actually send out a file that students can edit, or I can send out a file that they can only read and not write on. The other nice thing is that Google is going to save every document that you work on automatically. So you no longer have to worry about students not having the excuse that they couldn't access their material because it didn't save and that kind of stuff. It's all there. So this is the Google Drive. It's kind of where you kind of store all the files you can create. Over here on the left hand side, it's shared documents. So if I click on this, these are things that I get sent, the suspension list, for example, different stuff that students sends me sometimes come here. You can also sort it though, so that's going to get to where you want it to get to. I've got folders where my administration sends out our employee handbook and that kind of stuff, important things that everybody needs. If you go back to my drive though, these things along the top actually are the Google Classrooms that I'm currently in. So the physical science ones are what I'm currently teaching. The Paris is something that I have to do for my school regarding the state standards and how we're aligning our curriculum. And Tech Tips is actually a course that our librarian put us all in where we can share our own experiences with Google and that kind of stuff. The drive is really excellent. It's really kind of your central place to store everything. When you work out of the classroom, things get saved here. And it's just kind of like I said, it's definitely just that central place where you can get to everything you need. Some of the other tools, and this is all stuff that anyone can use. You have this currently right now if you have a Gmail account. Students who have Gmail accounts can access all these. They can send things back and forth, that kind of stuff. If you look through here, you can also open up or sort by different things too, Google Docs, Google Sheets, and that's what we're going to get into right now. So I'm going to go ahead to the launcher, the app launcher, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys Google Docs first. What it's going to do is create a new document for me, or let me open up something else. We'll just go for a blank document. And from here you can see it definitely looks very similar to Microsoft Word. A lot of the formatting bar is the same. You've got your tools, your insert. You can go ahead and draw tables, you can draw drawings, equations, images you can put in there. It pretty much works almost identical to Microsoft Word. As I said, there are a few things that are slightly different about it. As you can see under File, there's no save document here. That's because no matter what I type in here, it's going to save it no matter what. The other cool thing is if I had other people working on this document with me, if I saved it, there's a save. I could actually see their little Google icons popping up here. So I could see who is concurrently working on the document. Something else that's really cool is that if I'm typing something on here and someone else has a document open, they're going to see the changes we make in real time, which is cool. So if I wanted to share this with somebody, right now it's set only to me, I could hit share, get the title, skip that step. And what I could do is I could type in their emails and stuff like that. And as you can see, again, I can set permissions here. So they can comment on my document, which means that their text is going to show up in a different color and I can easily see it. They can edit it, which means I give them completely open access. The thing about editing it is that kids can change the original source, so you should be careful with that. And the other thing is that you can view it as well, so I could give it to them as a read-only. Okay, you can also send them a link to it as well. Generally, though, you can just type in their emails. So let's go ahead, let's X this out. Let's go back to my drive here. And again, my app icon. Google Sheets, as you can see, again, these are all free services, a blank document. This is basically going to be the equivalent to Microsoft Excel. You have a lot of the same capabilities with it. You know, you can type in formulas, that kind of stuff. And again, the sharing button's available, the graphs, you can make graphs. And again, it's not going to save. You can type in titles and all that kind of good stuff as well. It saves automatically, I should say. You don't have to save it. So that's that one. And then the other one that I tend to use a lot is going to be Google Slides. And as you can probably guess, that's basically PowerPoint. I actually opened one that I've made in the past. We'll talk about that one in a little bit. Every year I do a project with my kids where they have to identify a bunch of forces. I always choose rodeo just because my kids don't really watch a lot of rodeo, obviously. Either do I, for that matter. But kind of, you know, it's just something that I can do. And as you can see, you can put images into it. You can set your backgrounds. You can put whole pictures in. You can draw arrows. And again, the commenting tools are there. The sharing button's there. And you can see it's very, very similar to Microsoft PowerPoint. So there are so many other tools that Google offers, and you can kind of explore those on your own. I haven't even found most of them yet. Again, under the apps is where you're going to find them all. But one of the best things about Google is they're constantly updating and improving their features. So I'm going to show you guys Google Classroom, which is used as a free host for online classes. Once again, Classroom is a tool that's not open to everyone. However, access is pretty easy for educators. One of the things you have to do is you actually have to sign up with your school. I actually spoke with our technology specialist today, and she assured me that signing up is very, very easy to do. You pretty much just need to have some kind of a school-sponsored email address. And like I said, there's honestly a pretty decent chance your school's already signed up for it. And it only takes one person to register, and your whole school can be involved in this, so it's really cool. Some of the benefits of registering your school with Google and Google Apps for Education is this drive you'll get more storage on, so you can store a lot more documents on it. You'll also get an email address, right, personalized email address, that's my name there, obviously, and then at lpps.info, so it doesn't say at Gmail, even though it's hosted through Gmail, I can log in through Gmail. And you're also able to share certain documents with everyone in your school system, so I can send these out to anyone I want to in my district. I can search them by email, that kind of stuff. So I want to go ahead and show you guys a tool that I use a lot. It's called Google Classroom. So I go to classroom.google.com. As you can see, here's a bunch of courses. These are courses I currently teach, physical science. This is another course I'm in. This is one of my coworkers who had a course for us to submit our standards documents. And this is something our librarian created so we can all share tech tips with each other. So definitely versatile. It doesn't have to be just with teacher students. You can do it with coworkers and stuff as well. This is my add button. I could join a class or create a class from here. We'll go over that in a little bit. Let me take you to an existing class first, and then we'll kind of go back and make our own. So here's what I've done so far. You can see we did an assignment earlier in September this year. You can add assignments here, so I could add things, you know, assignments, questions. These are poll questions, so students can do discussions. One of the issues is you don't quite have as many tools as like Blackboard offers. It's not quite as organized and stuff like that, so that's something I want to see Google improve on, is their discussion boards. But it's definitely getting better. From here, okay, I can see, whoops, delete, I didn't want that, sorry. From here, I can see who has turned in their work and who's not. If I click on this, it'll actually show me specific names. I won't do that for obvious reasons, though. This code over here is actually how students will join my class. So I could put that up on the board, and when they're in their home page, which I just showed you here, when they hit join class, they can type in that specific code. The other thing, students here, I can access their emails and send them emails. I can also mute certain students, or I can I can block them from posting if things are getting a little out of control and I don't like what's going on. Another thing they just recently added is you can invite a second teacher or a third teacher to your classroom. Not sure on the limit, but I do have a co-teacher two of my classes, so it's kind of nice because he's able to see all the documents kids turn in. And with these assignments, when kids turn stuff in, they just click on it. They can actually also, this one was a discussion question, but they can actually also go through and attach files and stuff if it's appropriate, if they need it. They can do this Google Sheets we showed earlier, the Google Slides, the Google Docs, all those good apps. Also, when I click on the assignment, I can put their grades in. I can change what it's worth up here and do things like that. One of the issues I have is this is not currently linking up with my gradebook, and there doesn't appear to be a program for gradebook right now other than third-party sources that utilize Google Classroom. So that's something else I'm kind of hoping to see them improve. Creating a class is extremely easy. I go back to my home page. I can just create a class. I can come up with a name, test section, where are we, section 1, 2, 3, 4. They're already 1, 2, 3 when I was trying this earlier. It just takes a second just to pop up. And then again, I can add stuff here. I can create an assignment and I can actually attach stuff to it. I can go back to my drive and I can attach the examples I came up with. I can attach a syllabus if I want to, or a rubric if I need to. And I can make all these documents so students can either open them, students can open and edit them, or students can just view them. You can set a lot of stuff on there. This is all obviously customizable. You can put your own picture in there, your own theme, the background photo, that kind of stuff. Again, I can also invite students. I can actually send them a particular email, or I can just give them the code. I usually just go with the code instead of inviting them. It tends to be a bit easier. So this really is a great tool, like I said. I find myself using this a lot in the classroom, and one of the cool things about Google is they're so open to third-party sites and other app builders and stuff like that. Just like with your Android phones, how there's a lot of different apps and stuff you can download. Same whole thing with all this Google stuff, and even for educators. We actually just use a program now in our Chromebooks where I can hold up a multiple choice test, and the webcam takes a picture of it and grades it for me, all in seconds. So I'm definitely a big fan of Google. Our school really uses this services a lot. There is, as with any online thing, a bit of a setup to it. You have to go through and make sure you have, your school emails and you have all your students in there. And you are going to run into some tech issues, just like any kind of computer. But like I said, it's definitely a very, very versatile tool. I like the fact that you can grade on it. Some things I would improve on it, of course, would be the discussion board and the grading features. But they are there, and I think that they're going to continue to grow. I've seen improvements on this within the last 2 years. I'm sure they're going to continue to work. So thank you guys for your attention. I appreciate it, and if you guys ever have any questions, you can always contact me. I'll be happy to help you out with Google Drive as best as I can. And thank you for a great semester.